Okay, welcome to another art lesson. Today we're going to be making our Chinese dragon. Obviously our theme this week is fitting in with our China topic, and we're looking at making our own Chinese dragon. Now we're seeing the importance of Chinese dragons, okay, to ward away those evil spirits in Chinese culture. Okay, and the things you'll need a bit of tape, an ordinary piece of A4 paper, a pencil. I've got some cocktail sticks. You might use any kind of sticks really. You'll see how we're going to use those later on. Some Pritt stick, some Blu Tack, and a ruler to help us measure these out. Okay, so let's go. Now it is a little bit breezy today, so hopefully things won't blow away straight away. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to cut 4 strips out of my paper, going along the length of the paper. So I'm going to do them about 3 centimeters. So I'm going to measure 3 centimeters. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, a little dot. 1, 2, 3, 6, little dot. Another 3, 9, little dot. And another 3, it's going to be 12. Okay, and then we're going to do the same a little bit further along. I'm going to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and I'm going to need to just draw my line along there. Like that. So basically you're kind of linking those dots because you've measured them out. There'll be nice straight strips. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4 strips that are going to form the body of our dragon. Okay. Now what we need to do is cut them out. What I haven't mentioned is you'll need a pair of scissors as well. Okay, so with our scissors we're just going to cut those 4 strips out. So cut along nice and neatly. So cut them nice and straight, because the next step we want them to be the same width. There's one. Put my Blu Tack on top of them so they don't blow away. Now you might want to, for this bit, or for any of it really, you might want to use coloured paper, because these strips, you're going to want them to be colourful. Okay, like the body of your dragon, they might be green, they might be red, they might be gold. But you're going to want them to be colourful, so you want either to colour them once you've cut them out, or to use some coloured paper. You could do a mix. You might do some, maybe 2 red strips and 2 gold strips. Might make quite a nice effect there. Okay, put that to the side there. Okay, right, now I'm going to take 2 of these strips. Okay. And I'm going to stick them together with a bit of tape. I'm going to overlap them slightly, stick them together with a bit of tape. Okay, and again, a good reason why 3 centimeters is a good width is because your tape will go across there. Okay, just going to flip them over and do a little bit of tape on the other side. I'm going to do the same for the other two as well. So we should have one long bit, okay, like that, that's taped in the middle. I'm just going to slot him under my tray there for the moment. So again, you've got two long strips like this. Okay, let's try again. So you should have two long strips like that. Now, the next bit is the fiddly bit and the little time-consuming bit, because what you need to do is you want one of these strips facing up, okay, and you want to put one of them, okay, like that, almost to make a big L shape. Big L shape like that. Okay, so they're there. And then whichever one's on the bottom, you want to fold down. So at the minute, this one here is on top of this one coming down. Okay, so I'm going to fold this one going up over like that, and I'm going to fold it around and just fold it on top like that. Okay, and then this one, because now this one going down is on top, this one I'm going to fold over. Okay, and you want to come right up to the edge, so you end up basically folding kind of a square in this middle. Okay, now that this one's on top, I'm going to fold this one back up again. Okay. On there, and you'll see that I just keep going backwards and forwards, up and down, whichever one. Okay, now I'm going to fold this one back over the top. So whichever one's not on top is the one you're folding, and you'll end up with basically a square in the middle. So you keep doing this for the whole length of these bits of paper. Okay. You might have to straighten it every so often so it's not exactly down your line, because you want to keep it nicely in that square. Okay, and this is why when you're marking out your strips to cut them in the first place, you want them to be nice and equal. Okay, go back over this. Come down with this one here. Okay, back over that one there. Very nice to be able to get out doing these in the sun again. Oh, I'm going a little bit off target here. Go back over. So I'm almost halfway now. A bit because I'm almost up to my tape. There. I'm still just going left and right, up and down, left and right, up and down. Okay, now that I'm coming to the end of it, my last few little overs and unders, still doing the same thing. And you'll see that I've kept it in that square in the middle. So you've got them there. There we go. Okay. So what we've created is basically a little bit of a spring, because what we can do now is gently wiggle that out a little bit. Okay. Without pulling it apart, you can see we've got a spring. Now these springs can be used for lots and lots of things. I've seen people put flowers on them. Obviously with a longer strip you'll get a longer string, but it'll take a little bit longer to do. Okay, but people have put flowers on them, people have put loads of different things on them. They've just hung them from things. Okay, but you can see how if you use coloured paper, how colourful that spring is going to be. Okay, so you've got them there, but that's our spring, that's the body of our dragon. Okay, Okay, now what we want is we're going to want a head and we're going to want a tail at the end, and we can use our paper that we had. I'm hoping that's not going to blow away now that it's a bit heavier. We can use our excess paper over here, because the head and the tail don't need to be that big, because our body's not all that big, but they often look fearsome beasts. So I'm going to draw the head of my dragon here. I'm going to put some horns on his head, coming down. And what you want to do, instead of just drawing it just back to his head, you want a little bit of a rectangle at the end, because we're going to fold it and we're going to use that to stick on the front of our bit here. So I'm going to put this rectangle on the back there. So this bit is what we're going to hold on to. Now I want some teeth on him, because he's a fearsome dragon. He's going to ward all those evil spirits away. I'm going to have a little kind of beard bit there, I think. Come back, I'm going to put his eye. There, I'm going to put his nostril, because he needs his nostril for blowing smoke and flames. Okay, and again, make them as colourful and as fearsome as you can. Do that really quickly. Okay, and then his tail, again, we're still going to want a rectangular bit, so I'm going to draw my rectangle first of all. Stick on there. I'm going to have his tail a bit like a traditional dragon, just kind of curve down and curve down here. But I'm going to put some scales on it. And again, you might want to put green scales, you might want to put gold scales, you might want to put maybe some bits of paper, like on the picture it showed it had some hair and things like that. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can do. Okay, I'm going to cut out my tail and my head as carefully as I can. Remember, you want that rectangle on there, because we're going to fold that and stick that to it. Right, okay, I'm just going to tuck him under there. That's his tail. His head's going to be a little bit trickier to cut out, I think. Alright, don't blow away. So that doesn't blow away. I'm going to cut through his horns. So obviously where you put horns and hair and things like that, you just need to be extra careful when you're cutting, because you don't want to cut anything off. Can't just cut his eye off either. He wouldn't like that. Over the top. Okay. Go. I'll try and cut his mouth out here, but not very easy. Be really careful when you're using your scissors. fiddly diddly, that's for sure. Ooh, there we go. We have our head and we have our tail. So what we want to do with this rectangle is you just want to fold that over and then open it out so that it's at a right angle. We've been looking at right angles, or will be looking at right angles, okay, to our other paper, okay, because what we're going to do is put some glue on there and stick it to the end of our dragon. And same with the tail. We're going to, which way do I need to do it? Oop, do it that way. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue. On there. That's going to be my tail end. Stick it on there, get that fold. So that's going to be coming out of that end, and then the head. Let's put some more glue on this end. Some of you might want to make a giant one. Like I say, the longer the strips or the thicker the strips, the longer it will be and the thicker it will be. But you've just got to make sure all 4 strips, or however many strips, are the same. And same with my body. I want my head in the same line as my body. Fold him up, fold him up. Okay, just going to stick that down on there. Okay, tails there. So if we fold him out, okay, he's starting to look a bit more like our Chinese dragon. Okay, now the final bit we want to do, obviously there's a slight twist in the spring, okay, but the final bit we want to do is using our cocktail sticks. Okay, there we go. Okay, now depending on how long it is, okay, you might want more. I'm going to use 2, okay, because I think I will get away with 2. I'll wait for that wind to die down a little bit. And with my blue tack, I'm going to put a blob of blue tack on the end of each cocktail stick. I hadn't realised this was an 8-pack of blue tack. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big bit of blue tack. Okay, a blob of blue tack on the end so it looks a bit like a miniature lollipop stick. Okay, there we go, there's one. And there's 2. And as you might see in the video, when they're doing their dragon dances in China, they hold these dragons on big sticks, okay, to be able to move them around. So I'm just going to poke this one in here, okay, and I'm going to squeeze, whoops, okay, squeeze the 2 sides of that together. I can get my fingers in there a little bit, so that my cocktail stick sticks out of the bottom. Okay. One, and then one at the other end. Okay, I'm going to do it in between there. Okay. Ooh, I've got an insect on my leg. Okay, just going to squeeze it together there. So then, okay, you've got your dragon. Mine are a little bit on the wonk at the minute actually. Let's see if I can just turn it around a little bit. Okay, you've got your dragon. Okay, he can bend round, he can go up and down, okay, like he was doing. But obviously yours will be a lot more colourful. My head's not bent a little bit, okay, and a lot more fearsome than mine, okay. But with that springy technique in the middle, you can make loads of different crafts like that. And you might want to have a look and see what different things you can do. But that is our Chinese dragon for our dragon dances. As you've got them there. hope you enjoy making that. Like I say, there's lots of things you can do with those springs in the middle. Okay, take care. I'm looking forward to seeing your colourful and fearsome cocktail stick dragons. See you then.